Right. Fede Alvarez has shared an intriguing update on the planned sequel. There's a few things really to go over here. So the update's actually quite good, to be honest. Whether you liked Alien Romulus or not, it's besides the point. We'll still get to this, and hopefully it'll make people a little bit happier whether they hated it, I guess. So previously, I think it was last week or a few days ago, I can't remember, I did a video on it at the time. We had Fede Alvarez come out and be like, I fixed the CGI of Ian Holm. I understand if you hated it, right? Like, I get it. I understand. We fixed it. I convinced 20th Century Fox to spend some more money and we fixed it, which is brilliant. You know, when I'm looking at sort of directors and things like that, and looking at how they respond to fan criticism, that's the best possible reaction you could have. It's not doubling down. It's not saying, no, it's fine, whatever. No, it's not. It literally, it's someone going, yeah, I understand. I listened. I agree with you. It's not that great. I take it on board and I'm trying to change it. And he did change it, apparently. So that's brilliant, I think. I think that to me signifies he's definitely the best man for the job when it comes to, handling the property right now. And I say that because if you pair that with, say, Ridley Scott in interviews is like, no, I know exactly what to do. The beast's done. And you're like, fucking hell, mate. The Xenomorph's definitely not done. What are you talking about? Are you high? Are you drunk? What's going on? So this is good. That's encouraging. And then this is even more encouraging. So he came out and started speaking to Gizmodo. And this is all just to do with, releasing the film and things like that. But he says this about the sequel. Well, I mean, we definitely want to do it. The studio wants to do it. I want to do it. I think with sequels, it's always about finding the right story. Me and Rodo, who's his co-writer, we have some ideas, but it's not until we find something that we go, okay, that is a movie worth making, that we really embark on it. So that's the process we're in right now, trying to find a story that is worthy of everyone's time and is worthy of the title. So that to me is incredibly good. I will say this, from what I know, it's a done deal anyway. They are making it. Like, I know that from what I've been told. And I think that's a given because you wouldn't close that film the way they did without an idea of where they're going. So I think that they clearly had an idea where they were going, but still positive anyway. And it says, otherwise, you never want to fall into the trap of making a sequel just because the first one is a big hit. Making a sequel just because you can make it, that's always a recipe for disaster. I mean, how good is that? I'd say that's good. That's what everyone wants to hear. But here's the thing where people will be happy, I think, and this is where you guys can chime in. Rodo, his co-writer, and I are working on the sequel right now. We're excited about where it can go. We've almost checked all the boxes of things that I wanted to see in Romulus and brought back a lot of the things I hadn't seen in a while. Wherever we go now, we can go into uncharted waters. That's good, I think.
Well, it's a lot. There's a lot of freedom there because we've been hearing this a lot from a lot of other creators of late, those that are associated with Star Wars and such. There's a lot of freedom there, but it's because it's at the end of the road and not at the beginning of the road where they're trying to put all this garbage for Disney Star Wars, right? And similar. So I understand that. There are definitely, places to reach out, find new thoughts, maybe get away from some of the things that have annoyed fans to begin with. So this is certainly a good sign. And I do believe that, you do have one of the correct people that are, leading this. There are probably just a handful of people that could drive this bus.
One of the things that I always appreciate with Hollywood creators and gaming creators and pretty much any creative that's making things for public consumption is a willingness to listen to what people did not like or who people do not like and make corrections accordingly. And that kind of seems like what they're doing. And I think when James Mangold is like, oh, I'm going to have more creative freedom to do whatever I want, unchained by Star Wars lore, I think it's a much different statement than somebody saying, well, we can go into uncharted territory with aliens. Aliens, while it has, well-documented history, it's not the Star Wars lore that's considered so sacred by a fan base. It's not sacrilege to kind of play around with it. So yeah, I mean, I think that going into new territories, taking fan accounts into consideration, all of that that can only lead to good things, I think, or I hope anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with your.
Go on.
I was just going to say, and I agree with your take on Alvarez being the guy to lead this franchise going forward. I love the fact that he's listening to the fans. Jeff Fowler, who directed the Sonic movies, did the same thing in the Sonic movie, and fans appreciate that. We don't want to be preached to and like, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I'm doing it my way. He's actually listening. So yeah, I'm excited to see where they go moving forward with this. I'm game.
Yeah.
I'm along for the ride.
Yeah, some people in the chat like pointed out, oh, checked boxes. Oh, that's not good. No, he's literally means I've checked the boxes of the things that I wanted to see in Romulus.
Yeah.
He doesn't mean
he wasn't referring
literal
to DEI.
Yeah, it's not what he's talking about, but I understand the aversion to that. But here's the last bit of the interview, and again, quite good. I think it'll be so exciting to go with characters, from this movie to a place in the Alien franchise that we've never been before, and to discover things that you've never seen before. I think that's great. When Romulus came out, I said, that there's a lot of issues where it's retreading a lot of stuff, 100%. But undeniably, the response from people has been a positive one. So whether you liked it or disliked it, it doesn't really matter, because what matters is that this is what the franchise needed to reinvigorate itself, right? To remind people what's fun about the franchise, what people liked about the franchise. And now they can go off into a new direction because people are invested largely, maybe, into the property. 20th Century Fox wants to make more because it did well financially. And so they're going to then now take some risks in terms of going to a new direction, right? I think that's cool. I think that's good. That's positive to me, I think. So yeah, that last little bit, I don't know, any sort of further comments on that last little bit of discover things you've never seen before, go where we've never been before. Any thoughts on that?
Like I said, my reaction is good. There's a lot out there they can dive into, and I want them to. I mean, I'm looking forward to Alien Earth for a lot of reasons, but there's stuff that we're going to get there that we've never seen before. So like I said, it's hopeful that you can move forward. There are various ideas you can throw up on the wall for fans out there, and not being bound to a lot of stuff that's in the past or living within that framework. There's a ton. I'm looking forward to it, but again, I'm one of the people that loved Romulus, so there's that.
We see a lot of studios nowadays nostalgia mining, right? They're trying to give you the warm fuzzies from when you were a kid with these established IPs, because that's all anybody ever does anymore is play around in established IPs. We saw it with, not to make this comparison again, but Star Wars, Force Awakens was all about making you feel the way you felt for A New Hope. And then when they tried to go in a radical new direction, it did not work at all because it was done with such disrespect and ham-fisted nonsense. With Alien, I think there's a good opportunity for that. And you seem to have a guy in charge who is a fan of the franchise. And I think when you're trying to revive an established IP, one of the main things that you need is somebody with a deep respect and appreciation for that franchise. Now, not so deep that they become blinded by it and hit the Dave Filoni thing where it's like, I'm just happy that I'm creating Star Wars. I can't believe it. I'm trying to think of a really good example. I mean, I think that the DuckTales reboot that Disney did, despite wading into the waters of nonsense a couple times, it had a deep love and appreciation for the source material, and you can feel that. And I think that's what we've got here, and I think that's why things are going to be successful ahead.
Yeah, I felt that in Romulus with the practical effects. I loved the fact that they use so many practical effects and real set designs and like it felt like you were actually there. They didn't go too heavy on CGI, and I hope they keep that going moving forward too.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna sort of change that now. I think they've got a formula which they like with respect to
Yeah.
the practical and stuff. So there you go. Good stuff. I think this is all positive. So yeah, we will. Well, we won't shuffle on quite from this. We've got a comment here from Chaos is Fun. Says, evening all. From the article, this sounds promising. I'd be interested to see where Freddie takes this. Hit the like button, or are you Kathleen Kennedy fan? There you go. Hit that
Ooh,
thumbs up
there
button,
you go.
guys.
Thank you, Chaos is
Threat
fun.
right there. No one's a Kathleen Kennedy fan, that's for sure.
No.
So yeah, we will shuffle on from this.